Hey, welcome back. This is one of my first group rides in my new home of Nova Scotia. Now it's a new old home because I've lived in Nova Scotia before and I pretty much grew up here. I guess I would call myself a blue noser as much as anything else, but it's official now because I have a driver's license and my vehicles are now plated as Nova Scotia. Took a little while, but anyway, I digress. Group ride here, Nick has taken us out, and who's us? Well, it's going to be Nick, obviously, but there's another Nick, and there's a Luke, and there's a Kaylin, and there's a Taylor, and they're all up from Yarmouth, and they've come up to ride. And where are we riding? Well, we're riding down in the valley of Nova Scotia in around the Coldbrook area. Tons of single track in here, and some of it's fun and flowy like this, some of it's like this but tighter, and some of it is a lot more hilly. These trails are a lot of fun. They've maximized the amount of trail based on the amount of space they have by circling back a lot and making the most use of the terrain, so it's a lot of fun and comes with some good challenges. These hills aren't too bad today. They're dry and you got good traction, so you can lug your way up. But I can imagine if you got some rain that this might become pretty slick in here. As it is right now, the only thing that's slick is the pine needles, and they are kind of slippy. You got to be careful not to lock up the brakes, or else your back end will catch up with your front end when you're going downhill. Whoops, our first casualty of the day. Certainly not going to be the last, and in fact I'm on that list for sure. I think that's Taylor, and Taylor is just coming back to riding dirt bikes after years of being away, and this is his first ride if I remember correctly. And he's riding a 250 XCF, and that's quite a bit of bike to be taking in on tight trails, because it's one of those bikes where it's on the throttle or off the throttle. It doesn't seem to have a tame mode. It works well if you're riding it aggressively, but it can be a bit challenging when you're just trying to get your bearings about you and get used to riding again. That said, Taylor manages it, and later on we get to a bit of a sand hill where he starts sending it and getting a bit more comfortable. But it probably does wear him out a fair amount.
You're good.
Oh, hey Andy. Andy isn't riding with us today. He's out blazing around on the trails himself. But he does take me on a 42-kilometer exploration of these trails later. I figured here I'd dive in behind Nick and get some fast stuff going, but Luke was having none of it. I'm joking. It's the order that we've been riding in, so Luke can be forgiven for not shoulder checking because he's been riding second place, and arguably he's faster than I am anyway. Very good technical rider, and kind of reminds me of Luke back in Fredericton. Got quite a bit of air over that stump. I look at those things as things I would run into and fall over on. I don't know, some guys got that talent, and it's funny because Luke here that I've met in this video and Luke from back in Fredericton area kind of ride the same. Hey, there goes Kaylin. Kaylin's on a 500, and that's a bike that's near and dear to my heart, having owned one. I really liked that bike, and he had no problems hustling that bike in through the woods and all the technical stuff we're going to do on the second half of this video. Now this section I find kind of trippy on my eyes. It's hard to stay focused on the line that you need to stay on, because if you venture off, well, you can tell it's not always a cleared path. Now, chances are you could plow your way through and jump over something, but you might jump right into a tree. That said, once you get to know the lines or the route, I think you could go through here pretty quick because it is pretty flowy and it's not rough at all. close to kind of the halfway mark, and we're going to head back to the trucks. We're going to grab some refreshments, and we're going to lose one rider who's going to say enough's enough and make a good call, because when you know, you know. And then we're going to head back out, and we're going to hit some more technical terrain. Well, there you go. Refreshment's done, and we're back out. We're over on the area now called Water Tower Trails. And this is a bit more hilly and a bit more technical. It's a little bit rougher. And well, let's just see how this goes.
Now it's my turn to have a struggle fest here.
Yep, there's going to be a little bit of struggle for me, and unfortunately that struggle is going to impose on these guys a little bit, but only for one hill, and the rest I will sort out on my own with a quiet whimper. And that one hill's the one that's coming up. When I first landed here on the ground in Nova Scotia and got my first ride in, just kind of out exploring, I went to what I knew, and this is one of the areas that I knew. And I found this hill, and it's not the longest hill, it's not the steepest hill. There's a couple step-ups, but it's very loose, and those step-ups can throw you off. So right where you want to give it throttle is probably the worst point, because it's super loose. And taking some advice from Nick, I made it up this hill, just not this day.
Nice.
Now all the boys that came out for this ride, they all made it up clean, and so the bar was set pretty high, and I did not attain that bar. So here comes my run.
Where would you like to go?
No, might as well go up. Keep this ride moving.
There you go. If you ever need an excuse to not turn around and go down a hill and have to do it again, just use that excuse. I just want to keep the ride moving, fellas, so let's just get my bike up to the top.
Sorry, fellas, making you work hard so early. Robbed of my confidence.
In some areas of my life, the well of confidence runs deep. And when it comes to dirt bikes, it's hit and miss at times. Sometimes it's a pretty thin veneer, and sometimes you're just raw and vulnerable. And that's usually when your buddies will take advantage of things and chirp the shit out of you. Now let's see if I can restore my confidence a little bit by making it up this switchback. Sweet redemption. Alright, onwards and upwards, and you're going to see a pro move here, right there. That's that left leg outrigger kind of thing for balance. You put your leg out there and you shake it around like you need to pee, and it really helps. And now here I'm going to work my way up the stream bed. I'm going to get to the top of the hill. It's a pretty big hill, and take some video of the boys running up it.
Yes, bye. No, bye.
I think that was Nick, and here comes Luke.
Yeah! Bloody hell.
Well, that's a steep hill, and Luke just sent it, and you can certainly do that, and I think that was the technique for today, because it was getting a little bit loose. But there's alternate lines, and I think this is Kalen coming up this one with the 500. It is. This one's not so bad. Next up, I think Nick, not Nick that's leading the ride, but Nick that came up with the boys from down Yarmouth way. Here's his attempt at it. And here comes Luke again, who's going to send it a bit more, and you're going to get an idea how steep this hill is just about here. But he absolutely masters the clutch and rides it up to the top. And with that said, I think we're pretty much done for the day, and we call it, and we're going to head back to the trucks.